family. They love the family, they love the movies.
Hello and welcome to Film with Family. My name is Zach,
And I'm Austin.
and we are two cousins who love to talk about movies and award shows.
True.
We are recording this the day after the Oscars. What is it, the 96th annual Oscars, was it?
The 96th annual Oscars, reviewing the films of 2023.
Yeah, and we just had to talk about it. And if you didn't see it, it's okay because we're going to recap it for you. It's going to be fine. After we talk about the Oscars, we're also wanting to talk about the biggest movie of the year, Dune Part 2. So stick around for that convo.
Dune and Oscars. It's the Dune Oscars episode.
I'm getting all spiced up just thinking about it.
Man, I thought that the Oscars was a great show. I think this is one
you loved it?
I thought it was better than last year. Although
wow.
I thought that Jimmy Kimmel wasn't as good this year. I feel like I was laughing more last year at his jokes.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I felt it was a lot more hit and miss with the opening monologue this time.
He started it off really bad with the RDJ hits. When he was making fun of Robert Downey Jr.'s drug addiction. It's like this is a serious thing.
Yeah,
He's like,
I thought RDJ played it off well with his facial gestures and like doing like the hand motion, like move it along.
Well, he like pointed his nose first. He was like, okay, yeah, it's kind of on the nose, Jimmy. And then Jimmy's like, whoa, what is that, a drug thing? And he's like, all right, wrap it up. It's like not great.
I kind of like that. Oh yeah, and he started off with like a Madam Web joke that I think that didn't go over well, and he's like, "Oh, we're already off to a bad start."
Yeah.
Like with a kind of that Joe Coy defensiveness. I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
But I feel like he turned it around a little bit.
I guess before we get into the details of the show, how did you watch it, Zach? Did you have a good time watching it?
Yeah, I just watched it at home. I found this app called Fubu. Apparently, a
Fubu.
live streaming, like you can do it for like a lot of sports events, and found out there's a 7-day free trial. So I was like, this is perfect. I'll just cancel it the next day.
Hmm.
And it worked out great. It was a reliable stream. So I just watched it at home on my projector with my housemate. It was a fun time. We had a good time. Yeah, there's definitely some highlights of the night, but it wasn't enthralling from start to end. I would start to finish, I would say.
Start the end.
Yeah, start to end. What about you? How did you watch it?
I watched it with the family.
Fitting.
Me and Ryan and Drew all got together. Ryan made us a nice chicken and rice dinner beforehand. So she was cooking up a storm, and we had the red carpet going on in the background. We were
Uh,
reviewing the nominations and gearing up, and then show started. We all sat down. Ryan busted out a bunch of toffees and cakes, and she made a little really good dessert that was like sugar cane. It was like sugar.
It was sugar. It was a bowl of sugar.
It was pineapple like fried in sugar with ice cream on top. It was really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. You said it was you and Drew and Rian?
Yeah, and then later
Yeah.
on her friend Denise showed up. And so it was the four of us, and there's a little smoke, there's a little drink. We were giggling the whole time, enjoying. And I actually have some audio clips from our watch, so maybe be sprinkling those in throughout this talk.
Oh, nice. Yeah, maybe that was my mistake. I was totally sober. Didn't No drinking, no smoking. This is a very sober
Well,
watch.
I was sober. Drew and Rian were zooted, but
You took it very seriously.
yeah, I was zoned in. I wasn't zooted, I was zoned. It was in my interest, my zone of
Yeah,
interest.
yeah.
I haven't been drinking this year. For no
Oh,
particular
nice.
reason. I'm just 2024, booze no more. It's just kind of a little personal challenge.
Okay, I support that.
But yeah, no, we had a great time. The one thing is for all the talk of this starting early, it started late. Like they
Yeah, like 5 minutes late or something.
yeah, I was like, guys, TikTok.
Yeah, it was weird that it was still like daylight out when
Hmm.
the Oscars started because it was the spring forward daylight savings and they
Yeah.
move it up an hour to 7, so it just felt weird to be watching the Oscars and the sun's still out. Kind of a weird choice, but
Little weird choice, but I was fine with it because I was like, let's get to it.
yeah.
It started though, and it started with that little montage, which is always great. They always just do like such a good job of like meshing all of the films together. Like they had that little moment where they showed like the all of their eyes closed, and I was like, man, I
Yeah.
didn't realize there were so many shots of
I
people's eyes closed in these movies.
yeah,
Uh,
that's how Oppenheimer ends is with him closing his eyes, but yeah.
mhm. And
Um
then our eyes opened at the end, which we will get to.
Yeah, I thought that montage was really good. That was a good edit. Yeah, it goes into our host Jimmy Kimmel on the bench with Barbie.
Yeah. And when she's like, "You're so beautiful," and he's like, "Thanks. I haven't eaten in 3 weeks. I'm so hungry." Which was fun. And yeah, he started it right off by shouting out Margot and Greta, just getting that controversy right out of the way. I
Mhm.
love how he like kind of threw the audience under the bus. He was like, "You nominated them. You didn't nominate them."
Yeah, all of you that are here are to blame.
Yeah. It called out Snoop from Anatomy of a Fall. Did you ever end up seeing it?
Yeah, I saw it on Friday or
Oh,
just a few days ago.
oh,
I liked it.
okay.
I thought it was good. I didn't love it, but I thought I was entertained by it. And you're right, Snoop was the star of the show. I was happy to see him in the audience at the Oscars
It's a
with his
beautiful hound.
he's got those steely blue eyes. You can't look
Yeah.
away.
He's got those Arrakis spice eyes.
He's got the spice in him. Bremen dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good dog. He came back. He was a recurring bit throughout the show. They had that one cutaway of him like clapping his paws.
Yeah, they had the fake paws coming from the bottom of the screen.
And the very end, he's pissing on Matt Damon's star.
Yeah, that was a good bit.
Which I agree with. I didn't realize how much I had in common with Jimmy Kimmel until I saw. I was like, oh yeah, that's Jimmy Kimmel's whole thing is Matt Damon sucks. But it's
Yeah.
not a joke for me. Um,
It's not a fucking joke.
my favorite joke of the monologue was "Your ghost is good as mine."
Yeah, I wrote that down too. That cracked me up. I like his
Yeah,
little lame jokes like that. 'Cause, yeah, he's
yeah.
pointing out the poor things. The director's name Yorgos and the editor's name is Yorgos. And he's like, "Who's gonna win? Yorgos is good as mine."
Yeah, that was great. That was good.
We love a good dad joke.
Yeah, great pun.
Nobody can be offended by that.
Yeah. Yeah, they brought out the back of the house, honoring the crew, which I thought was cool. Got all the
Oh
people with
yeah,
their mic comms on, coming out and having their little moment. That was nice. That segues nicely, I think, into the way that they were just honoring people in general, at this Oscars was pretty unique. The way that they set up the nominations for all of the acting awards.
yeah, that was a new thing.
Yeah, like by bringing out previous Oscar winners and having them like kind of address one by one the nominees and like kind of giving a personal touch. I thought was really really nice and kind of touching.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's a lot better than just having two people or do the presentation,
Yeah.
a little more personalized, get to see more famous people. So
Hmm.
that's always what you want. So that was a good change.
Yeah, yeah, and Lupita Nyong'o had a really touching tribute to Divine Joy Randolph, talking about, which I didn't know, that she wore her grandmother's glasses in the holdovers. And, we're 5 minutes into the show and everyone's crying. My mom was texting me, "Oh my God, I'm bawling." Drew, of all people, my brother, was sobbing. He wasn't sobbing, but he was shedding a tear. It got him.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a that yeah, I guess maybe I wasn't paying attention during that because that didn't really hit me.
Yeah, when I texted you, I was like, "Drew's crying," and you were like, "Why?" Like,
Yeah.
someone's not paying attention.
Yeah, I missed that emotional beat.
And I guess that leads into our first win of the night, which was pretty chalked up for Divine Joy Randolph for supporting actress. She won for her performance in The Holdovers, which was pretty expected.
Yeah, she gave a good teary emotional speech.
Hmm.
Yeah, one of the more emotional speeches of the night. I feel like overall, I feel like people were pretty chill when they got the rewards. It
Hmm.
wasn't too much blubbering like Brendan did last year.
Although we had a whale spotting during
Yeah.
this awards, which made me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this led into our first commercial break, and so this is where I had my first kind of asked Drew and Ryan to share their thoughts so far. You want me to play that audio?
Let's go.
Okay, this is Austin with Ryan and Drew. We just watched the first portion of the Oscars. What did we think of Jimmy Kimmel's monologue?
Rectangular penis and drilling into RDJ was too fucking much. That wasn't cool. RDJ didn't like it. I didn't like it. Jimmy, you're not on the late show, pal. You're not cooking up jokes every day. This is supposed to be good.
Yeah.
You blew it with that. Everything else
Yeah,
was okay.
he had a serious drug addiction. It's not funny.
Yeah, let it go. Let it go. Hey, you know you got high? Get out of here. And then he's like, he took that in stride, but then he's like, keep rolling. He's like, oh, we're still going to fucking do this? Fuck you. That sucked.
Yeah, also the Sandra Hüller joke about Germany. She was not pleased with that.
Yeah.
What do we think of I really liked how they brought out the 5.
That was so nice. That was such a change up.
Yeah.
Because normally there's just one person standing there and they'll go, oh, then they'll give you the clip of the movie. Mm-hmm. This was so perfect. It really acknowledged everybody.
Yeah,
and it was nice to see who spoke on behalf of the... Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah, they really honored every single actress. Because I feel like, when you look at the nominees, most of the time you're just kind of like, okay, this person was nominated, that person was nominated, but they really took the time to acknowledge, like you said, the humanity of each actress. Yeah. I thought it was nice.
Yeah.
And Drew got emotional.
Moreno.
No, I thought it was cute, but I didn't cry or anything.
You did?
Drew cried.
Jumped off the couch.
When they said that Divine Joy Randolph wore her grandma's glasses,
That was cute.
she was tearing up. Oh, Oskies are back, but Drew cried, and so bye.
Jimmy did RDJ.
We'll be- I RDJ'd you.
Me like you did me RDJ.
Yeah,
I forgot about the rectangular penis joke.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was kind of confusing.
Was that an acceptance speech in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? What?
The point is, Drew cried. Cried at the Oscars.
It was an emotional night. I wrote this down. There was a terrible boy in the heron joke.
Oh, I like that joke.
It's like, we got the boy, but where's the heron? Or what?
It was because, well, that was the part of the night I was the most worried about is the boy and the heron not winning the animated feature. I thought maybe Spider-Verse was going to steal it, but Boy and the Heron won, and Miyazaki was not there. Nobody was there to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
which I guess is true when Spirited Away won many years ago for Best
Mm-hmm.
Animated. Miyazaki wasn't there either, so he just
Yeah.
doesn't give a fuck about the Oscars. But yeah, after that award, Jimmy Kimmel was like, nobody showed up for The Boy and the Heron. That's kind of weird. I thought, I guess it makes sense the boy, but I thought at least the heron would be here. And I
Yeah,
like that joke just because it was so lame.
that was really lame.
It made me
Um,
laugh for some reason. But yeah, so I was very happy that The Boy and the Heron won. That was the thing I was most nervous about because, I was annoyed that it didn't get nominated for Best Picture because obviously it's my favorite movie of the year.
mhm.
So if it didn't win Best Animated, it would have ruined my whole night. But thankfully that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And also, my boy Wes won his first Oscar too.
Yeah. How
Wes
about
Anderson,
that?
not for Asteroid City, which wasn't nominated for a single thing, but for his short film, The Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar. Uh, and Wes also was not there. So
Yeah.
I got to miss out from acceptance speeches for my two favorite dudes, but I was still very happy for them because, yeah, Wes has never won an Oscar before. And I also just saw today that it's the first time anyone from Texas has won an Oscar, or like any director from Texas.
Hmm.
It's the first time a Texas director has ever won an Oscar.
I didn't know Wes Anderson was from Texas.
Oh yeah, you
Okay.
grew up with Linklater and all those guys.
Okay. All right.
He's a
Yeah, there
he's a
were a few
Texan.
firsts. Actually, Robert Downey Jr.'s win was the first time that an SNL cast member has ever won an Oscar.
Wait, Robert Downey Jr. was on SNL.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Wow, how did I
Yeah.
not know that?
It was like literally SNL's lowest point. Like I think Lorne Michaels had like quit for some time. Like it was like at its lowest ratings. Like it was nearly about to go off the air. It was like him and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I think that was when Martin Short was on, I think. But anyways, yeah, he another first.
Wow. Did you see Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar? Did you like it?
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was great. I saw it this weekend. Really incredible. The design of it is just immaculate. I think he kind of outdid himself. Yeah,
Yeah.
the way that everything flows into each other, the set design of it, everything's so detailed. It's like Wes Anderson,
To the max.
yeah, to the
Yeah.
max. But it's like overload of information. It's like like I just like felt like I was watching something in like fast forward, like
Yeah.
10 times speed. It was just like the way that he gets through so much information is just like slow down. It's like that Billy Madison scene. It's like slow
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely felt that way too, but I don't know, it feels a little bit more tolerable on a rewatch once you like kind
Hmm.
of already know the story. But yeah, you should watch the other Roald Dahl shorts he did on Netflix too. Because there's a couple other ones that I like even more than Henry Sugar that are on there, and I feel like they do a better job of pacing it out so it's not so getting talked at the whole time. And there's like a
Yeah,
little bit more dialogue and it's a little more sparse.
yeah,
Um, but they're great. I love Wes Anderson. I'm glad he got his Oscar.
yeah.
So, so yeah, were there any big highlights for you from the Oscars you wanna point out?
I forget which award it was for. I think maybe a screenplay, original screenplay, when they were like showing clips and they showed the Maestro clip of him going, "I'm reining it in."
Yeah.
Which is my favorite part of that movie. I was like, I love that they chose that as like the part of the script that was worth noting.
Yeah.
That wasn't my favorite, but I'm just going in order here. But I mean, we wanted to skip ahead. I mean, the highlight of the night was "I'm Just Ken." I mean, that was just incredible. What a performance.
Yeah, I loved how he started off like in the audience. Ryan Gosling's
Hmm.
like just like sitting down, like right next to Margot and Greta, and I don't know. He was eating it
Hmm.
up and his voice sounded great.
Oh man, he's got a great voice. Dude can dance. He's looking better than ever. Just like the
Yeah.
most attractive guy on earth. And
His voice almost sounded better than it did in the movie. I was like, damn, he's killing it.
yeah, and he had like the Ken gestures going,
Doing
yucking
some
it up with
karate
the crowd.
moves.
Yeah, getting the crowd into it. It was just awesome. We actually rewound it and watched it a second time.
Because they're vibing so hard.
Yeah, Ryan was like, "Let's go again."
Yeah, that was great. Also, the Killers of the Flower Moon song was really cool. The drum
Yes.
circle.
Oh
That was
man,
pretty great.
I loved that. I was like, "Fuck, this is so cool." But you know, Killers of the Flower Moon totally shut out.
Not a single award. Very pissed about that. But
Yeah, that's so stupid.
really counting on Lily to come through and get the Oscar, but it went to Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I wasn't upset about that. I was definitely surprised. I thought Lily was a lock, but it was a race between her and Emma throughout awards season. I thought that she would win, but I actually had her because the more I thought about it, I feel like Lily Gladstone's performance isn't a leading actress performance. Controversial, I know. I mean, she's not in the film as much as Leo or De Niro. Maybe as much as De Niro, but De Niro was a supporting role. So I don't know. I don't feel like there's a leading female character in that movie. I mean, if there is one, obviously it's Lily, and I think that she did an incredible job. But I mean, I feel like next to Emma, the whole film of Poor Things is Emma, and she does an incredible job. So I was kind of thinking, actually, I think she should win it. So, and she did.
Well, I still wanted Lily to win. I do think it's a leading performance, but I understand the argument. Definitely, if you're gonna compare who's leading more, Emma's definitely leading more, but
Hmm. Yeah.
um, the movie just doesn't work without Lily Gladstone. So
Yeah. True. 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 True.
she's the glue holding it all together.
Yeah. I think that she's an essential part of the film. But yeah, Poor Things came out with a lot of Oscars. They did the whole production sweep. They got the Oscar for production, for makeup and hairstyling, and costume. Yeah, back
Yeah.
to back to back. Boom, boom, boom. I was like, ooh, I was not expecting that. That was like a big surge for Poor Things.
Yeah, like the first half of the show, Oppenheimer didn't get a single award, and Poor
Yeah.
Things was just getting shit, and I was like, uh-oh, is this? Or I was excited because that would have been. I'd much rather that film to get all the awards than Oppenheimer. So it was looking good at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like that last year when All Quiet on the Western Fronts was like winning a ton of awards, and it wasn't
Yeah,
until the end that Everything Everywhere All at Once just started cleaning up.
yeah,
Going into this, I just thought it was just going to be Oppie night, it was just going to be Oppenheimer all night long, but they did a great job of like kind of making you forget that like Oppenheimer was going to take away everything. I mean, they had this like cinched for months. So that made me happy. I did put that in my notes. It was like halfway through and not making it about Oppenheimer at all. How about Godzilla winning?
that was cool.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I liked how they all showed up they all had a Godzilla statue, like the whole VFX crew for
Yeah.
Godzilla. They all had like Godzilla statues.
Yeah.
And the guy was really struggling with his speech, but he made it through.
Yeah. Maestro, nothing.
Yeah, I predicted this. I made an Instagram story saying I was excited for Maestro to get 0 awards, and I was right. Though I was
Uh,
worried because I thought I might get makeup
yeah, I thought so too.
for that neck waddle for
Yes.
old man Bernstein. I was like, oh, they might give it for that one award, but
Yeah.
thankfully, Poor Things beat him out. The Willem Dafoe face was more impressive than the Bernstein waddle, and I agree.
Yeah, when I was looking at doing my final like predictions, I was like, Yeah, of course. Yeah. How can you forget William Dafoe's makeup is like so much more impressive than the Bernstein makeup. But I did still predict Maestro to win because I thought they would at least give him one, but poor Bradley got nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, we should say but me and Austin, we filled out our ballots beforehand and we made our predictions of what was going to win and what we wanted to win and stuff.
Stay tuned. I'll read the scorecard at the end of this.
Yeah, I counted up my score. I don't know what you got, but
Well, also my mom made some predictions. So did Natanya, Rian, and
Ooh.
Drew. So we got some family predicts. We'll see who
Okay.
won. Who's gonna go away with the gold. But a few other things I wanted to mention. Oh well, since we brought up Bradley, I wanted to play this audio of me and Drew shitting on Bradley. Oh, let's talk about the John Cena bit.
Yeah, I love the John Cena bit.
How about that John Cena bit? That was funny.
How do you spell his last name?
Cena.
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 Okay.
But you can't see me.
No.
Yeah. I thought it was not going great in the beginning there with him and Kimmel, but then they landed the bit when he snuck out of the backstage with the card over his PP. It was good.
I think it was a hard room because all the jokes were bad and haven't landed yet. And that was really fucking funny and super brave.
Yeah.
And just like in general, just really good stuff. And
he nailed the
bit. And then he had a very lovely dress on. Like
Toga party.
toga party.
Yeah. What did you say, Drew, about Maestro, about Bradley Cooper and his mom?
Oh, that she just like ridicules him in his chair the entire Oscars. Like, bring me here again for another lose fest for the Coopers.
Why don't you stick to being a raccoon?
Yeah, why don't you stick to being a raccoon? Playing with the kids. You like to entertain the kids. Like a clown. A clown! Cooper the clown.
With your big red nose.
Big red. Any questions? Oh, shit.
Got on a real run there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should say the John Cena bit was like prefaced with like, oh, this is the 50th anniversary of a man streaking at the Oscars, which I never knew was a thing that happened. Some naked guy just got on the stage at the Oscars and ran through.
Yeah.
And so they thought they'd commemorate that by John Cena doing the same thing. And yeah, I liked him like just like peeking his head out and being real shy and coy about it.
Yeah.
He's like, the male body is not a joke or something.
He's like, I wrestle in jorts. But then when he snuck out there fully naked, I was like, dang, you can see pretty much everything there. I was like, I don't know what he's got underneath there. But,
yeah, you could see like, what do you call it, the little line, like heading to the dick zone, and I feel like his ass was out. Like, yeah, that was a strong bit. I also like John Mulaney going off on Field of Dreams. That was a funny bit.
he's gonna host next year. I hope he hosts next year.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of hubbub of people wanting him to host.
So let's just listen to this. Is him introducing the nominees for Best Sound.
Now the Oscar for Achievement in Sound. You know, for years, movies didn't have sound, and then they figured it out. Some people say that the silent era was the golden era of film. These people are difficult and insane. Without sound, we wouldn't have been able to hear such classic lines as, "You're gonna need a bigger boat. I'll have what she's having." And he was in the Amazon with my mother when she was researching spiders just before she died. Or what about that moment in Field of Dreams when we hear, "If you build it, he will come. And then Costner does it. He builds a baseball field. Well, I guess he doesn't build it. He mows down corn, and then there is a field. And then he's like, I'm going to watch Ghost play baseball. And the bank is like, you want to pay your mortgage? And he's like, nah, I'm going to watch Ghost play baseball. And then he finds James Earl Jones, who wrote The Boat Rocker, which I thought was a real book deep into my 20s. And he's like, people will come, Ray. He's the only one with a financial plan. But what's weird is Timothy Busfield pushes little Gabby Hoffman off the bleachers, and she falls down, and she's unconscious. Then Burt Lancaster is Moonlight Graham, and he comes up and he pats her on the back a couple times, and he's like, hot dogs stuck in the throat. And then he can't go back in the game, because I guess there's a rule in Ghost Baseball that if you leave the field at any point to become an elderly ghost and do the Heimlich maneuver, you can't return to the field. I love Field of Dreams. That should win Best Picture, though they'll probably go with one of this year's. Here are the nominees for Achievement in Sound.
Though they'll probably go with this year's. A minute and 36 seconds that was.
Yeah, he packed a lot in there.
Tight.
Oh yeah, also Gosling and Emily Blunt trading barbs about Barbenheimer that was a pretty good bit. They had to address this, and this was a fun way to do it.
Hello, Emily.
Wow. Bit of a frosty hello.
Not at all. No, I'm just happy that we can finally put this Barbenheimer rivalry behind us.
That's right. That's right. Here's Ken and Kitty. Just leaving all that fodder in the dust, guys, right? And the way this award season's turned out wasn't that much of a rivalry, so just let it go. So,
It's true. You guys are doing very well. You know, congratulations.
thanks.
But you know, I think I kind of figured out why they call it Barbenheimer and they didn't call it Op and Barbie.
Why?
Well, I think you guys are at the tail end of that because you were riding Barbie's coattails all summer.
Funny.
I feel like he was kind of embodying Ken in that clip.
Definitely.
He slipped back into Ken.
He's kind of, man, it's a little smug smile. Speaking of smug, Christopher Nolan. Dear God. That
Smuggest
guy.
man.
Smuggest man on earth. Like, this whole night is basically dedicated to his achievement, quote unquote. And dude, just has this like little half smile the entire night. Like, doesn't seem excited. He's just kind of like, yeah, I deserve this. Like, yeah. Like, I don't know. I was just like, God damn, I hate this guy.
Fuck that guy. Yeah, I will say I pre-gamed the Oscars by rewatching Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to give it another shot, watch it again, because I knew it was going to win a lot of awards tonight or during the Oscars, and I wanted to get a better sense of how I feel about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that my opinion of it has dropped a bit.
Drop the bomb.
Yeah. I still think it's a pretty good movie, but I don't know. It was a bit exhausting rewatching it, I'll say.
Mm. You're seeing the light. You're hearing the music, Zach. Do you hear the music now? Bring in the sheets. I am really excited for this episode to be over, honestly, because I never want to talk about Oppenheimer ever again. Like, this is it, guys. Putting all this to bed. Yeah, I mean, as long as we're talking about serious films, we had Zone of Interest win for Best International Feature, and Jonathan Glazer gave a great speech that acknowledged the war in Israel right now, or the war on Gaza, war on Palestine, and I liked what he had to say. I thought that, he addressed straight up, like, we're not going to use the Holocaust to kind of like as this shield to commit atrocities.
Thank you to the Academy for this honor, and to our partners A24, Film for Access, and the Polish Film Institute, to the Auschwitz-Birkenau State Museum for their trust and guidance, to my producers, actors, collaborators. All our choices were made to reflect and confront us in the present, not to say, look what they did then, rather look what we do now. how film shows where dehumanization leads at its worst. It shaped all of our past and present. Right now, we stand here as men who refute their Jewishness and the Holocaust being hijacked by an occupation which has led to conflict for so many innocent people. Whether the victims of October the... Whether the victims of October the 7th in Israel or the ongoing attack on Gaza, all are victims of this dehumanization. How do we resist? Alexandra Bistron Kaladziejczak, the girl who glows in the film as she did in life, chose to. I dedicate this to her memory and her resistance. Thank you.
That was a powerful speech.
Yeah, I actually did see The Zone of Interest since we had our nominations or episode. I was kind of had mixed feelings about that movie.
Yeah, same.
I mean, it's some heavy subject matter, but it's also presented in this very boring, turgid kind of way.
Great word.
It feels more like a video installation at a museum or something. It's like there's not much story there, and kind of skinamarink-y in that way that it just a static shot for a really long time, and you're just kind of taking in the ambiance for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of that ambiance is the sound, which makes sense why it won Best Sound, because yeah, the soundscape of it is pretty much the whole movie.
So much of the horror of that movie is in the sound of it, in the hearing of the Holocaust, you know, because like all you see is like this beautiful home, this nice family, but like in the background you hear like the fires of the ovens raging and people being shot and like screaming babies and stuff like that, and then like the music, which just sounds like it's from like the pits of hell. Like it's just terrifying.
It definitely makes an impression for sure. But
yeah, I feel like my feelings just go up and down depending on how I feel about like how I'm feeling that day. Like the movie definitely like rung a bell in my mind, like where I've just been like humming ever since. Like every time I think about it, it's just like sends a chill down my spine. It definitely, it imprints itself on you in a very kind of horrific way that not a lot of movies can, especially since it is so sparse and slow. And I learned that that Jonathan Glazer had them improvise a lot of the movie and just set up cameras all around that house. And so the actors never really knew what was going to go into the film. So that's why it feels so like lived in, which when I learned that, I was like, oh, I kind of like that. But yeah, I mean, there is something about it that feels like too artsy, like where it's just kind of enters into like a realm of pretension where it's like, I don't know if that's responsible or appropriate. But speaking of horrors of the world and other wars, the film that almost made it to my number one last year, 20 Days in Mariupol, won Best Documentary, which I think is well deserved. And he made a really great speech.
This is the first Oscar in the Ukrainian history. But probably I will be the first director on this stage who will say, I wish I would never made this film. I wish to be able to exchange this to Russia never attacking Ukraine, never occupying our cities, I wish to give all the recognition to Russia not killing tens of thousands of my fellow Ukrainians. I wish for them to release all the hostages, all the soldiers who are protecting their land, all the civilians who are now in their jails. But I cannot change the history. I cannot change the past. But we all together, you, I'm on among you some of the most talented people in the world, we can make sure that the history record is set straight and that the truth will prevail and that the people of Mariupol and those who given their lives will never be forgotten. Because cinema forms memories, and memories form history. So thank you all, and thank you all. Thanks to Ukraine. Slava Ukraini.
Amazing speech. That's got to go down the history of, I mean, just that, I mean, again, for anybody who has seen that movie, just how incredibly powerful those images are and how brave that man who just spoke is for being in that war zone and capturing those images. And for him to say, you know, like, we as filmmakers, like, have a responsibility to, like, make memories and have those memories make history like that. I mean, that is just so powerful. Yeah. Again, it's a hard, very hard watch, but I really encourage anybody to watch that movie. It's on YouTube, 20 Days in Mariupol. Incredible film.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, but maybe I will someday when I'm feeling brave.
Yeah. When Cillian Murphy, who was, you know, slated to win this, won, he also dedicated his Oscar to the Peacemakers. You know, what did he say? Like, we live in Oppenheimer's world, whether we like it or not, you know, and so this is dedicated to the Peacemakers. I felt like, you know, usually the political speeches at these award shows are very, like, forced, and, you know, they're all over the place, and it's like coming from a person who's not really connected to what's going on. But I mean, I feel like Glazer's speech, his speech, Mestev Chernov, I'm probably not pronouncing that right, and you know, Cillian Murphy immersing himself in the role of Oppenheimer, you know, all of them kind of making statements with that. I thought it was very appropriate, and they did it in a great way, and they weren't, like, cut off. Although, although after that speech, they played him out with "I'm just Ken."
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Which was like, ooh, I don't know.
It's like, that's a weird choice.
Yeah.
Try to bring the energy back in the room. We're having fun here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but weren't there people, like, wearing, like, little red pins? Was that for, like, Palestine?
Yeah, the ceasefire pins. Yeah, Mark Ruffalo was wearing it, and yeah.
Yeah, those were seen throughout. So that was some good support there. Yeah, I thought Octavia Spencer and Melissa McCarthy doing their bit was maybe the most awkward bit of the night.
Ooh, that was rough.
That was really rough. I feel like that might have been the low point of the whole night, was them trying to struggle through that little bit. They're like they were trying to improvise something, or I don't know.
Yeah, and that was, like, the joke, but it was just like, stop.
Yeah, they're, like, presenting the awards for, like, scripts or something, and it's like, this
Yeah,
is why
yeah.
I need people to write stuff. And I don't know.
And you're like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that was really bad, but yeah, I think we hit all the highlights.
Well, the best part of the night was Al Pacino. Holy shit. Zach, this made my year. I thought this was the funniest thing I've seen in a really long time.
Yeah, it felt like a risky move for him to present the best picture. He was a little bit of a loose cannon. I was like, well, can he be trusted with this responsibility?
We just gotta play this. This is some of the best audio I've heard in years.
I don't know. Did I do some Shakespeare now? I think is in order, right? To be. No, I'm not going to do it. No. Sorry. Well, this is the time for the last award of the evening. And it's my honor to present it 10 wonderful films were nominated, but only one will take the award for Best Picture. And I have to go to the envelope for that. And I will. Here it comes. And my eyes see Oppenheimer.
Wow, that's the Oppenheimer.
What happened? Oh my God. He's like, what happened? Well, first when I saw this, I was like, holy shit, wasn't he supposed to list all the nominees? Like, because like did he forget? But I assume that it was because they've been
like playing all the videos throughout the
right
awards.
that they were just like just get to it. But I was like, no, you gotta say the nominees. Hell no. But okay, so we all lost our shit, and I gotta play you the sound. I got the sound. All right, so what do we think? How did it go?
Really good.
Yeah.
It was really fun watching with you guys.
Gotta go in the envelope for that. And
But that was the best. Like,
That
was
what
so
an ending.
classic. Like that was that's like a Super Bowl ending. Yeah, like field goal, touchdown in half a second. Done. Yeah. You would never expect it.
one can only win. And that one is in his envelope, which I guess I have to read. So I will. And I see it's Oppenheimer. What I see with mine eye.
Oh my God.
That was crazy.
What a fantastic ending. I was going to say what was our favorite part, but I mean, that was my favorite part.
I say that pretty much knocks it off.
Yeah.
I think Pacino was funny, but he failed fucking miserably.
Oh my God.
Failed. I mean, he said the right name. It could have been a La La Land Moonlight situation.
What did you expect?
Have you talked to Al? He seems good. He's good.
Right, like nobody's there to kind of go, wait, we gotta say, like, right, if he had had a partner, they yes.
Go get him, Al.
What am I supposed to do, Shakespeare? To be or not to be? No.
Not that. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
But really, like, everybody has somebody backing them up. So it's
Normally,
Yeah.
right,
Hey,
right.
Al,
You gotta just, I mean,
Yeah.
set up the guy with
Get
complete
him.
dementia.
cocaine-addled brain. God love you.
Just
Get out
go
there and
read it
just
Just
let
tell us who won.
Good luck.
Yeah.
no quality control of any kind.
Yeah. That was
Lady Gaga held Tony Bennett's hand. Where was Al Pacino's?
All right, well, that was a
really
fun Oscar night. Any final thoughts?
Yes. Say it's the most fun I personally have ever had watching the Oscars.
Yeah,
And it really has nothing to do with who won. It had to do with the company I am with.
The family we're
Of
with.
film. That's right.
All right.
Night,
That'll
night.
do it.
Yeah, you texted me after the Oscars over where my eyes see Oppenheimer, and I didn't even know what you meant because I could not discern that's what Al Pacino said. I just thought he just had some vocal kind of flare up before he said Oppenheimer.
I think it doesn't seem like they asked him to read the nominees, but just because he was so seemed like in such a daze, and when he said "My eyes see Oppenheimer," I didn't know or I don't think many people in the audience knew that he was announcing the winner. I thought that okay, I'm announcing all of the nominees. Like, my eyes see Oppenheimer, Poor Things. Like, I thought that he was going to go down the whole list. But there was just this little pause in the crowd, and there's like, oh, yeah, okay, they win.
Yeah. A little curveball.
And just the fact that like this, ordained movie, totally overhyped Oppenheimer, this thing that I've been shitting on all year, they got like such an anticlimactic, like hilarious win. It couldn't have gone better for me.
Yeah, it was a great way to end the night. Even though Oppenheimer's not my favorite, and I would rather see some other movie get the award.
Yeah, same.
But I think I like Oppenheimer more than everywhere all at once. Which might be a controversial statement, but
yeah, Drew just rewatched that and said he still loves it, so he will take umbrage with that.
Yeah, I definitely have to rewatching Oppenheimer. I feel like it's definitely gone down in my estimation a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just too much. With
too
the music
much.
the music's going like the whole time, it's giving me like a panic attack. It's like trying to do this montage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that for 3 hours. Like it's like, come on, I'm just trying to relax here.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling made it clear that this Oscars was about Barbie. Jonathan Glazer and 20 Days in Mariupol made such a bigger political statement than Oppenheimer could have ever dreamed of doing. So it's like, sure, get your award, Nolan, which he like stared into like it was like he had a child when he got the director's award. He was just staring down at it. And I, Denise disagreed with me and said that his speech was humble, but I thought it was like when he mentioned that it was like, oh, the history of cinema and that I get to be a part of it. It's like, all right. Yeah, it's like to me it was like him saying like all the history of cinema has led to me and to this moment. And it's like, shut up.
Go home.
Yeah, go home. You got your thing.
You got your little toy.
Yeah, get one of those Godzilla toys while you're at it on your way out. But speaking of who won and who lost, let's go to the scorecard.
Yeah, let's tally them up.
So it wasn't just me and you. Drew and Ryan made a few predictions before. They didn't do the full card, but I kind of was listening to a few of them and they made a few predictions. Drew guessed correctly that Boy and the Heron would win, although he was saying that he thought that Spider-Verse should win.
Wow, shame on him. Now I don't feel bad about saying Oppenheimer's better than Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, you take umbrage with that.
Yeah.
But he also said he thought Nimona was really good too, and he said he would have liked to see that win as well.
Didn't see Nimona.
Neither did I. Rhian guessed correctly. Makeup for Poor Things. She loved how it looked, and so we were all hooting and hollering when it won that back to back wins.
Mm-hmm.
And then Natanya and my mom submitted a scorecard, and Natanya got 3 right, and my mom got 10 right.
Wait, they filled out the whole card?
Not the whole thing. They yeah, the ones they'd seen. They both guessed Oppenheimer correctly. My mom guessed Nolan for director. Natanya correctly guessed Martin Scorsese. I mean, incorrectly, but correctly. You know what I mean?
Wait, is this them like saying what they want to win or what they think will win?
Will. They just did
Okay.
will. They didn't do should.
Okay.
Okay, between you and I, you got 15 correct.
Yes. 15 out of 23 awards.
And then you got 2 of your shoulds, some points there. So it was like 2, they weren't right, but you got your should.
Oh, what were those?
Those were best production design. You said Barbie will win, but Poor Things did win, and that was your should.
Yeah.
And then same with costume design, Barbie and Poor Things.
Yeah, I really thought Barbie was gonna get some love in those departments, but
Yeah.
they went to Poor Things.
Yeah. So there's a whole thing with the screenplay things. It's all fucked up. It's
Oh,
like
fuck.
Barbie should have been an original screenplay, and then Killers of the Flower Moon should have been an adapted. It wasn't even nominated. It's
It's fucked up.
insane. It's
Yeah,
insane.
it was a great work of adaptation. They made it their own. They had a whole spin on it.
It's a whole fucking book about the FBI. It turned into a goddamn masterpiece.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers. Not giving
Yeah.
Marty his due.
All right. What was your score? Did I beat you?
I got 18.
Fuck.
I won.
Well, you got 3 on me.
I got 3 more than you on the will. I got 3 shoulds and 2 flat out misses. For adapted screenplay, I thought Barbie would and should. And then I thought ABCs of Book Banning would have won Best Documentary Short. But The Last Repair Shop one, which was, of all the documentary shorts, was my least favorite. I thought it was really over dramatic. It's a great, I mean, like, you know, it means well and has a great message. I thought their acceptance speech was really nice. It's like about kids getting free instruments that are like repaired by this shop in LA. But it was like really sappy and a little overlong. So yeah, of the 5, I thought I didn't like that one, but it won. So whatever.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, I will say I only watched one of the animated shorts, 95 Senses, and I was like, this fucking sucks.
your 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 review on Letterboxd was just, what the fuck is this shit?
I don't know why, but it made me so mad. And
It wasn't weird. It had your boy though. It had your Buster Scruggs.
Yeah,
Tim Blake did the.
I didn't know Tim Blake did it until I saw the credits, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But like, I really was disliking the vocal performance. He was doing this folksy old guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I got ears. I got a nose.
and I burnt it down, and I didn't know that he lived there.
Yeah,
I guess
really
y'all
took-
make mistakes sometimes. I killed his whole family.
I couldn't hear him.
It's like, what the fuck is this piece of shit animation? And I found out it's directed by the guy who directed Napoleon Dynamite. I'm like,
Oh,
what the
right,
hell?
Hess. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Jared
yeah.
Hess and his wife, and I'm like, how great they have fallen. This shitty little animation.
I didn't hate it that much. I thought the
I don't know
animation
why
was...
it really rubbed me the wrong way. I thought the
Yeah.
animation was mediocre and the voice acting was dumb, and I didn't like the story.
Yeah.
I was disappointed that The Taste of Things wasn't even nominated for Best International Feature.
Jeez,
Because
yeah.
I saw that movie with my mom and we loved it.
It was it's a beautiful film. I was truly took my breath away.
That ending, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, but the beginning, the middle, the end, the whole fucking meal was delicious. That first scene when they make the baked Alaska and they light it on fire, I truly was like stunned. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that looks like the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What a film.
What about the bread tower with the soup in it and they put the little soup hat on it or the bread hat on it?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I could watch that movie every day of my life.
Yeah, such a sweet, warm movie. And it seemed like something the Oscars would like. But
Yeah.
it's got totally snubbed.
Yeah. So I think the thing with that is like,
Not enough people saw it or something.
no, I think there's something weird with the international feature film category where it's like each country has like a nominating board and they can only nominate one film.
Mhm.
And I think Anatomy of a Fall is also French, and I think the French committee decided to put up Anatomy of a Fall and not Taste of Things.
I think they put up Taste of Things and not Anatomy of a Fall is what I heard. I think France tried to put Taste of Things up there, and the Academy wasn't biting. They wanted that Anatomy of a Fall.
Well, whatever. They fucked up.
We didn't even talk about how Emma Stone's dress was broke in the back, and she was distracted during her speech.
Yeah.
Poor Emma. She was embarrassed.
Poor thing.
The poor thing broke a dress. I thought it looked fine. I didn't know what she was talking about.
Yeah.
She worries too much.
She couldn't see back there. She didn't know what was going on.
Oh, poor thing. Should have been Lily.
Yeah, so that was the Oscars, folks. And now we will never talk about Oppenheimer or Barbie or Zone of Interest or Poor Things ever again.